Hello, I'm here again. Third video today. Getting good at this, aren't I? Once again, thank you everyone. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your kind messages I've been getting. I'm glad that it is helping some of you. Like I say, this journey, all the little videos and everything, hopefully off each one, there's just little bits that make you think, oh yeah, that's interesting, and you'll build your own path and hopefully you'll, they'll help with your recovery. So this video is going to cover symptoms, all my symptoms. They're the only ones obviously that I can share with you because I'm doing my journey, so you may have different symptoms, but I had quite a lot of the anxiety range of symptoms. So hopefully it'll just give you that feeling that, it's okay, you're not on your own. The things you are feeling is quite normal. It is just because of your anxious situation, and we can calm it down, and hopefully we will calm it down as we go through this journey together. So yeah, I've already said that my anxiety, even though my trigger was my head injury, I had it from sort of teens. So my last video explained that. Before the head injury, my main symptoms were, I didn't realise I had anxiety at this time. It wasn't until after the head injury that I learned that I had anxiety. So my main symptoms before the head injury were muscle aches, muscle tension. I used to get tight chest and everything, obviously, and I'd feel like I was having a heart attack and stuff, but I wasn't. I once rang 111 and saying that I had pain in my left side and tingling down my arm. The lady at 111, I don't know how true this is, but it helped me at the time. The lady at 111 said if it was your heart, the pain would be on the right side. Again, I don't know how true that is, but she did assure me at the time that it wasn't a heart attack and everything, and it worked for me. It calmed me down. So yeah, something to think of. Like I say, get that backed up, but it's always worked for me. If ever I had pain on my left side, I used to think, oh well, it's not on my right. So anyway, so I used to get chest pain on my left side. Under my rib, my left, I would say more than my right, but I think I've experienced it on both sides. But just under my rib cage on my left side, that used to be very sore. My legs would get very heavy. Yeah, my head, I would like tension headaches around my head. I said on the last video, I used to suffer from a bad back, really tense muscles in my back. All these I worked out on my journey that they were all down to anxiety. I'd get lightheaded feelings. Certainly, I'd be driving along. Obviously, I'm thinking when I'm driving along. Only looking back, I realise this, but I know I can think of times where I've been doing it in like autopilot, mind's wandering, and then all of a sudden you feel lightheaded and stuff. You don't put it down to anxiety at the time. You think, what the bloody hell's going on, sort of thing. So yeah, I'd get lightheaded feeling. That used to, again, that happened quite a lot after food. Stomach cramps. I used to suffer really bad with acid reflux. I used to get really lump in my throat, struggle swallowing. In fairness, mine did seem to improve once I got treated for acid reflux, but the lump feeling in your throat can also be muscle tension. There are quite a lot of reasons why that can happen, but it's another common one. I used to have a rash sort of on my left cheek here. Again, that all disappeared. I used to get blurred vision, floaters in my eye. I used to get black dots, like when you look, certain, like if you looked onto a white wall or something and looked away, you get little floaters in your eye. I see quite a lot of people that go for that one. Brain fog, derealization, not really feeling with it, sort of like everything's floating you by, feeling a bit like and you're just not feeling right there. That's about it before the head injury really. There was probably more. I'm doing all this from memory, sort of 7 years ago. So yeah, that was probably about all the things I used to suffer. Most of it was aches and pains, and I used to feel like I was. I used to feel like I had some sort of muscle illness, muscle disease. So anyway, after I had the head injury, and that was when I first started with the sort of the panic. Then that was my extreme anxiety. It sort of gone over the edge. I then started with light sensitivity. The room was generally always darkened, not immediately, but after a few weeks of suffering panic attacks. The room was generally darkened. If a room wasn't darkened, I said in my last video the amount of times I sat with a towel over my head because I just couldn't cope with light at all. Sound sensitivity, I couldn't hold a conversation, I couldn't listen to people, couldn't listen to TV, I couldn't listen to anything. I had earplugs in for 3 months. Everything was heightened. I live on a main road, and I have wagons going past, and they just sounded like they were running over the bottom of my bed. Yeah, it was awful. I mean, even the boat used to come into the harbour and I could even hear the bloody horn go of the boat, you know, whereas I can't normally. Actually, to be honest, it's the other way. I'm deaf as a bloody, I wear hearing aids and everything, you know what I mean? So yeah, my hearing went really, I was like Superman, I could hear a pin drop. Taste and smell, that was a funny one. Taste and smell became sensitive. I could have a packet of crisps. I could have a packet of prawn and cocktail crisps or something. I'd be able to taste that crisp right up to about 7 or 8 o'clock at night. You know, I used to be able to taste it for hours after. And smell, I live a few doors from a pub. And the good thing was, that was a bit of a bonus, I could smell what the pub food, you know, it was great. That was about the only good thing to come of it. Yeah, head and body zaps. I used to get a lot of I used to explain like electricity, like just sharp jolts, more in my head than in my body. I've had them in my body, but it was more like head zaps, like just feelings of like you were getting like little electric shocks sort of thing. Let's see, tingling, I had a lot of tingling. I learned afterwards that's all down to your breathing and everything, but I'll go into that more later on, CBT sort of side. Extreme fatigue, my legs were just always heavy. I would go from 1 minute I'd have like real energy and think, oh yeah, I'm up and I can do things, and I'd get up and try and have a walk, and then it was like something had been sucked out of the inside of me, and all of a sudden I'd be like, ugh. And when it went, I used to say, oh, it's taken my legs away, because my legs would literally go dead, and sometimes for a day I couldn't get back up again, you know. So it was really extreme and crazy, really. Burning sensation in the skin, that used to happen more in my face, in my arms. I used to get burning in my you know, like irritable, but yeah, a little bit on fire. Certainly in the face, this rash used to burn, you know, I can remember that rash burning. Heartbeat, irregular heartbeat. My heart used to, 1 minute it'd be missing beats, next minute it'd be bloody beating out of my chest, you know. I used to be able to sort of like lay down and I'd feel my bloody heart beating like mad. And like, you know, you lay down and you could like feel it in your ear somehow. You could sort of hear it, like the sensation, the pulsing, you know, the blood pressure, I guess. My blood pressure was a nightmare on my blood pressure. I see on the group quite a bit, and I always sort of try and explain to people to put them away, get them out of the way. I used to be checking my blood pressure every 5 minutes, you know. It really doesn't help. Really doesn't help. Actually, my sister turned up once, saw me doing it every 5 minutes, and I think she took the blood pressure monitor away, sort of thing, but got it away. And that's why I say to people, just give it to someone, because it really doesn't help. It just creates more anxiety. If you're doing something obsessive, checking your temperature, checking your blood pressure, whatever, checking your weight, anything obsessive, stop doing it. Just don't do it. It's just really feeding your anxiety. We'll go into it more later. What else? Metallic feeling in my mouth. I've already mentioned that in my other video. I used to have really dry mouth, really dry metallic mouth. Night times were a bit of a nightmare. I'd sometimes wake sweating. I'd feel shivery. had really sometimes crazy dreams. I remember one dream I remember we got broken into, and it was almost real life. This, you wake up and ask yourself, did that happen? You know. Yeah, we got broken into, and I chased this guy out of the house. I mean, at the time, I couldn't even get out of bed. Never mind chase this guy out of the house. But yeah, I chased him out of the house. It was so realistic. I caught him climbing over the neighbour's fence. I grabbed him and beat hell out of him, and ended up burying him in the bottom of the garden. You know, I mean, mad. But you wake up and it's just like this has happened. So yeah, crazy. My speech was affected. My speech was very slow and spluttery, and just I never really noticed that too much. Everyone else used to tell me, and my head was always flopped forward. I'd always have a head. I don't know why that was. I don't know if my neck muscles had gone weak. I don't know, but everyone used to sort of say that my head was always like flopped forward. You become heightened emotions, little things get to you. Somebody says something and it can really affect you, you know, it can really either make you hurt or tearful, or weeks and weeks of flu-like symptoms, you know, just really achy and lethargic and hot, cold, and I think that's about it. Oh, tinnitus. Tinnitus I've never got rid of. It's one thing that's stayed with me forever. That happened after having a panic attack. I'd come back, I'd had a panic attack, my ears started buzzing, and they're nowhere near, I mean, when it started it was crazy, but they're nowhere near what they were. But yeah, I've always had that since. It doesn't seem to go. Yeah. Breathless. I was always breathless. I was always yawning. That's another one I see on the group a lot. Like I say, I'm just trying to. Hopefully, people listen and they say, "Oh, I have that. I do. You know," and you'll realise that it's not forever. I have none of this now, apart from tinnitus. It's just that moment, and it does pass. I think that's it. Oh, this was a funny one. Banging in the head. I can't remember what the doctor called that. I did ask the doctor. It was like people closing doors in my head. It was in my head. It wasn't happening, but it was knocking. The doctor called that something. I can't remember. I've never actually in the 7 years of having the group, I've never seen anyone mention that. But yeah, I used to have slamming in my head, like doors banging in my head. And not for long, about a week or so. But yeah, that was. Like I say, I've never heard anyone mention that. That's about it. Oh, it becomes an obsession. Anxiety becomes an obsession. You become obsessed with getting better. There's nothing actually wrong with you. It's crazy, this. It really is. All I can tell you is I've suffered all this. I've been through all this. I have none of it now. Absolutely none of it. And the weirdest thing for me, and I'm going to get into that when I go through the CBT and everything, was the moment you just stand back and think, it's me. It's hard. It's a hard pill to bite, this. It really is. But it's your thoughts that are making you feel the way you do. And I know it sounds easy, just stop thinking about that, and it is possible. I'm going to show you lots of little tools that will hopefully help you the same way as they did me. But it is your thoughts that are making you feel the way you are. Hopefully you've watched my last video on the thoughts and you've sort of thought to yourself, yeah, well, I do that. And just that alone has given you something, you know, and hopefully as we go through the journey, you'll find something else but yeah, that's about it really. Obviously insomnia was another bad one for me, about 5 weeks. I won't be no sleep. Yeah, I think that's it. I think that's all the main ones. Just rest assured that you are okay. You really are okay. I know panics are awful. I'll go into more on panic and everything, and they're really scary. You really do feel like you're gonna die. You know, I was panicking every single day for hours and hours on end, and I'm still here 7 years later. They've not affected me in any way, shape or form. So please, it's going to be all right. It is going to be all right. You're really not alone. So yeah, once again, thank you for all the support. I hope this video has helped you. I certainly hope the next ones are going to. We're going to go into different things. Yeah, just like it, subscribe to it, share it, comment on Facebook or on the video itself. Anything you want to ask. Yeah, just until next time. All right, thank you. See you later. Bye.